Now, Manchester United's new regime are making enemies in football with a relentless recruitment drive. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team have angered Newcastle and Saints Southampton over their approaches for football chiefs Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox. Already poached Chief Executive Omar Bereda from City, and some clubs are reportedly unhappy about how they're behaving. John is now for more on this, talkSPORT presenter and big United fan Mark Goldbridge. Mark, very good morning.
Good morning, Mark.
Morning both, hope you're well.
Mark, I think everyone does it, don't they? You know, everyone's sort of try to, have a little word here, word there about getting the best into their club. So what's different about this time?
Well, exactly. It's a nonsense, really. I mean, Manchester United have been in the shadows for a decade, and suddenly somebody comes in and starts saying they're going to get best in class. If you're going to get best in class, they're not going to be unemployed, are they? They're probably going to be working for clubs showing why they've got a good CV. And Man United have gone and done that with Berardi from Man City. Ashworth will come from Newcastle, and Wilcox will come from Southampton. I have a sympathy with those clubs, but it's the same as what football used to be like 20 years ago when you'd go and buy Roy Keane from Nottingham Forest or Paul Ince from West Ham. I think that's a bit longer than 20 years ago, but you know what I mean. It's it's absolutely normal, and I think it's a good move from United because best in class is certainly what they're lacking.
Mark, before I ask you about I thought it was a bang average performance at best against Brentford, mate. I really thought it was disappointing. I want to ask you again, Ten Hag, another nightmare for him in terms of injury. Lindelof looks as though he's out, and Martinez is going to be out for a few weeks as well.
Oh, it's horrific, Ali. I mean, look, I don't want to. Well, I will use the word cursed. It feels like that this season in a footballing sense. I've never known, in all the years I've supported United, I've never known an injury like this. I can't really think of any other club that's had it. I mean, Liverpool had it a bit last year and a bit this year, but it's relentless. I mean, we had an international break. You sort of take a deep breath because we'd beaten Liverpool, and you think, oh, we've come away with no injuries at all. And then Lindelof and Martinez in the first game back. Varane came off injured as well. I mean, there's got to be huge questions at Manchester United about the fitness department because it's ridiculous. Like, if these players can't actually play at the levels that Liverpool and Man City can, where they have to run around a lot without getting calf strains or anything, they've got to look at the whole setup. But that to me sounds wrong. So then you've got to look at other areas. I've never known an injury crisis like it. I know people want to sack Ten Hag. I know people want to back Ten Hag, but I do think it gets to a point like it was last year with Liverpool, where you've got to say this is just unprecedented. It's certainly mitigating circumstances, and I mean, we've got Liverpool and Chelsea to come, and we've got no centre-backs again. So you can't survive in this league when you've got those sort of injury problems.
So, Mark, what do you put it down to? The Liverpool game. Okay, Liverpool had chances, but United knocked them out. And then they put in a performance like that against Brentford. What are we talking about? Bad attitudes here?
Well, I think there is a conversation to be had about certain team selections and tactics. But when I watched the Brentford game, I wouldn't even agree with Ali that it was average. I think it was absolutely diabolical. I mean, Brentford dominated us because they wanted it more and they did the basics right. You've got United players jogging back. You've got United players not going for 50-50s. You've got United players not marking players. And then you've got consistently United players not passing 5 yards. And people can talk about tactics, but we all know they're the things you learn in your back garden when you're 6 years of age, to pass the ball 5 yards. It's not your manager who tells you to pass the ball 5 yards or, put a bit of effort in. And I don't get it with Manchester United. And it's been going on for years. It's been going on for years and years. They can beat Man City and then they lose to West Brom at home. It's been going on for years. I think it's a mentality thing. I think Ineos we go back to the best in class with Wilcox and people like that. They've got to go best in class with the players. We know there's players out there that don't have the mentality to play week in, week out, and that's why they don't play for Liverpool or Man City. We've got a collection of players. There's some good lads coming through. You look at Mainu, you look at Garnacho, you look at Højlund, and there are some senior pros there that are good, but there's probably a handful in that first team that just don't have the consistent mentality you need to play at the top level. And United need best in class in that squad, in my opinion.
So, Mark, who do you want to win it? Would you be an Arsenal side? You don't want Liverpool, you don't want City?
Yeah, 100%. Reminds me a little bit of that Mickey Thomas goal all those years ago at Anfield. I'm no fan of Arsenal, but in this situation, they are the lesser of our three rivals there. So I don't think they will. I think Arsenal's running is really difficult, and they've done great to do what they've done. But yeah, hopefully Arsenal can get their hands on the trophy.
If they don't, Mark, who's winning it then? Which are the other two?
You know what, Ali? I still won't write City off because they've been there before, and if they win 9 games in a row, I think that might be enough because Liverpool have probably got a couple of games where they might drop points. Liverpool should win it from this point, but I still wouldn't write Man City off. Hopefully, Villa can do something tonight.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.